Welcome to the CueSports International Expo. We are in the fourth and final day of the Diamond Las Vegas Open with a full field of 128 players. It is down to the final 32. These two gentlemen here are in the final 30. This is the second round of the final 32. And we have Naoyuki Oi and Jesus Atencio. This is George Teacha in the booth with Jeremy Jones.
Yeah, what a great match we have here. And
we'll break first.
I'm not sure. I don't think we've had Oi on the stream. We may have had Jesus once. Can't quite recall, but as George said, this is the second round of our final day. We brought 32 here into day 4. So this is the final 16 of the single elimination round. Ooh, 10 ball hung, it looks like. Nothing down yet. The 1 balls. Ooh, is a 3 gonna agree?
And the reason for the 10 ball being important in the pocket is 10 balls count on the break, and as early 10 balls on a combo, legal combo.
Yeah, like yesterday we had one rack where all the balls were within a ball or two of the side rails. You know, kind of like here, you see how open the center of the table is. You don't see this very often, yeah. This ball doesn't throw. We'll get a camera angle maybe from where the 10's at. It's kind of showing us the line of the 3-6. It looks like to me
so
he
close.
can throw it in to me.
It sure does.
Just softly on the right side of the 3 should throw it to the left. Now, did he call the 10?
I think
he's
just
playing the
10.
No, he's playing the 10. He's hitting the left side.
Oh,
that definitely throws.
Sure does.
That's surprising that Oi didn't recognize that.
I don't think he's going to get it. No. Wow. Wow. This is a race to 4. It's 2 races to 4. If the players split, we go to the spot shot shootout. So we've seen some exciting matches this morning. I just witnessed a shootout between Torsten Homan and Dennis Grob, where they went to the sudden death, backed it up, and Grob made his first one, and Torsten missed it to be out. This is now single elimination in the final 32.
All right, we'll see. Jesus is going to show off that stroke he's got right here.
Yes.
Now, right here, it's another one of those shots, difficult no matter how you play it. But if you look at just getting past the side, not all the way back, the shot becomes a little easier.
Anywhere close to the center of the table?
No.
And no.
Okay.
Nothing gets easy.
Pretty big pocket on the 4 kiss shot, though, right? I mean, with the 5 there, I mean, that's a huge pocket, right? So he'll want to shoot that with some speed to open the 3 up. He doesn't want the 9 and the 3 to get clustered up, maybe the 7 as well. He's playing the combo, which is fine. Oh, wow.
I was going to say, how about the 10?
Yeah, but you got to look at that combo right there. It's a huge pocket, right?
I mean, definitely agree, but I would have considered the 3 underneath the 7, and so it slides down the rail. He shot straight at it.
He was trying to go into the 7, I think, or maybe he was trying to go above it, but maybe, you know, the eye on the prize there, I think, has gotten the best of Oi in his first 2 shots. He definitely had a 3-6 that was throwable, and that 3-4 combo was hard to miss, whether you played the kiss shot or the combo.
You know, it's funny when you have a 10 ball hanging, you get so emotional. Sometimes you get so emotional for that early win, and you, like you said, you took the eye off the prize.
Yeah, and he even gets the best of the best in the world sometimes.
Sure does.
And I think, you know, the short format could also lead towards that quick win as well, being like even more of a bonus. Okay, he's got to get into this a little bit. That way he avoids the scratch. Nice shot.
This is a 23-year-old from Venezuela, living in Texas, I believe now.
Yeah, Conroe, Texas, just north of the Woodlands. Awesome area.
He's a 757 Fargo, and this morning, in his first match of the final 32, he defeated Carlo Beato. And then other wins so far was Warren Kiamko, but he did lose to Chris Reinhold. Also beat James Aranas, Michael Schneider, and Gregory Ho.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We're not going to have the final we had in Arizona. Federer, of course, also lost this morning.
That's right.
Carlo Beato. So we're going to have two new ones in the final this evening. He's got to use the rail a little bit here, huh, George, to slide this 6
Slide it, yes, he does.
And the key to this is, of course, you don't want to jam it, but don't baby it too much either. You want it to slide a little bit. Like that. See how it kind of really took
I like
the
this
rail.
game. And as we've spoken, he in Arizona he placed 9th through 16th, and one of his big wins down there was Roland Garcia.
Yeah, well, the last few years since really living in Texas and staying in America a lot, he's played pretty much all these guys one time or another. One thing I like to comment about Jesus before is he's not a guy that just sits there and waits for a big event. You know, he understands that those regional and weekend events really are going to bode well for him improving and getting all the time he can to get better. Good look at Oy here. What a great guy Oy is. I roomed with him in Austin. And just a fun guy.
Now, I was doing the introduction when they broke first. Who broke first, Jeremy?
Oy broke. Almost made the 10.
That's right. Okay.
And both good guys here, but I'd like to ask Oy what he maybe thought about that first shot with the 3-6.
Never when he missed, he passed up the.
It looked dead to me. It looked like, well, not dead, but it looked very makeable. You could throw it in easily.
Especially on new cloth. Especially on new cloth.
You know, some 8 or 10 inches from the pocket.
Yeah. No, I was when we got that good camera angle on it. I was very surprised that he looked at the 10.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You know, not this level, but I used to be on the road with some guys that were good players, and not saying they didn't know how the ball threw, but sometimes they got a little blind to it, you might say. You know, when you're in action, you could get a little bit, you can't see straight. What a good break that was, right?
It sure was. I mean, he had balls going towards holes all over, and the A ball went in the side.
I think that's kind of, you know, of course, see the follow through. That's the key to really getting a consistent break and a lot of room for error in your break. But that kind of reminded me of the speed and the kind of break that Carlo had last night. You know, it wasn't a super light pop, but not real heavy. Man, you can't ask for more than this. Just don't overthink it.
Jesus is a Predator sponsored player. I believe Oy is also. Gonna have to check on that one.
Yeah, I thought it might have been Mez maybe, but
we'll check on that. We don't like to give you. I don't like to give you wrong facts.
We'll try and keep you up to date on some wins and losses on the outer tables. Like I said, just don't overthink it here. SVB playing Jovan Bustamante on the outer table.
Is that a Phoenix? He stopped playing for a bit, and now he's back to playing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good time. I think not only the players that are involved in the game today, so many great ones, but I think these guys are going to see a big change in money and opportunity to play in great tournaments these next few years.
He is not a Predator player.
Yeah, I think he's with Mez. Mez Cubes out of Japan. Makes sense, right? Yeah, that's pretty perfect there. Now, if he's full enough, he's got a choice. He can draw back to play, you know, the 6 in the same pocket and draw underneath the 7. Maybe it'll come one rail above the 7. He's gotten perfect there to where he really has a choice. He can follow 2 rails. He can draw underneath the 9 for the 7 up all the way. Looks like to me he's going to come out 2 rails. Aloysius Yap playing Alex Kazakis. Omar Al-Shaheen playing Ralph Souquet. Getting to the nitty gritty, it's all names we recognize, George.
Yes, it is. Well, just like any tournament, you get close to the end on the final 32, and that's exactly what you get, are recognizable names that usually are the cream of the crop.
And I'll tell you, yesterday when I watched Jesus, I think it was yesterday, you know, beautiful motion he's got. But I could tell his timing was a little off. You know, it's not off much with a swing like that, but today it looks really nice, moving the cue ball easily.
Yeah. Here's a list of the names that are in the final 32. The winners are on the left. There's one lost side on the right.
Well, we'll get that updated because we only have 16 now.
Yep. I can.
Great shot there. I know it looked routine and fairly routine for this level, but still sweet to watch.
Sure. Matches that went on this morning, the first round.
Yeah.
Game of this race to 4. Jesus Atencio leads 2-0. We'll be breaking the balls. Some of the matches that went on earlier. Hunter Lombardo lost to Chris Reinhold. Victor Zielinski defeated Kang Lee. Omar Al-Shaheen defeats James Aranas. Ralph Suquet defeats Hei Chia Chin. And then Jovan Bustamante defeats Edgy Geronimo, and Shane Van Boning defeats Daniel Snyder. And then the big win from Jesus Atencio over Carlo Villado. Now Naoyuki Oi defeats Fedor Gorst, the 2 finalists in the Arizona Open. Open shot on the 1.
Yeah, and a nice one and much needed in this short race to 4. Down 2-0. I'm sorry, George.
Yeah, that was.
And always got to be feeling good after a nice win in the first round of the final 32.
It's a big win.
Yeah, he's got a tricky one here, though. And I don't think the 4 goes by the 8. It definitely doesn't go by the 9. Looking a little ahead, but the 2 to the 3 is a little funny. But getting back from that 4 to the 5 later on, there's a lot of work here. Even though he's got a great open shot on the 1. Boy, who's come to America, came early to play in the Texas State 9-ball championships, losing his first match there, and then made a run to like the final 8, I think.
Wow, that was a big tournament. There was 128 players in that, wasn't it? 160, yeah.
160 in the 9-ball. about $150,000 in prize fund.
If I can, I will be there next year, Jeremy. I'll join you down there.
Well, I think it'll get bigger next year, to be honest with you.
Well, they have the tables for it, right?
That and just people always looking to improve, and not just on the money, but everything else. That's a lot of people that run tournaments, they don't realize, of course, the players always want more money, but we just mainly want improvements in areas that need improvements. So I think he's going to duck here. I don't think he can afford to try and trap himself on the 4.
That 4 stuff, he's got to get it in the side pocket. Just put this up against the 5. No, he's going for
7.
it. Looks like he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh no, he put it up against the 7.
Yeah, I think that's the prudent play. You got to, pull on the reins sometimes.
I guess maybe sometimes I get carried away with my cue ball control and I think I can put it anywhere, and no wonder it leaks out.
Well, it wasn't so much about that. He would have taken on the shot if he really saw, a good future on getting on, not only on the 4, but getting on the 4 to get on the 5.
Exactly.
You don't want to get over there on the side rail, have the wrong angle for the 4 on the side, and then you're trying to play a tough safety.
For a lot of those amateur players out there who are on the verge of playing at a high level, keep that in mind.
Smart shot. Smart shot there. I'm not so sure it's going to slow Oy down. Anytime you have that 4 in the middle of the table, you can play a little behind it in the side and create an angle to go into that 5-6. This isn't the worst thing in the world. He's sizing up a 3-ball combination. The main tough part about this, George, is holding the 4 or making sure the 4 stays for position. The combo is pretty makeable, it looks like to me. You see what I was saying, though?
I do, yeah. If he comes over to the left side of that 9, he's got a nice angle to come pocket the 4 in the side and come down for the 5.
Yeah, I thought maybe he would play on this side and play the 4 in the left side pocket and come down. Yeah, that one's real natural as well. This was the problem.
Oh.
Ooh, I don't know if there's a ball in the way, but this looks eerily makeable.
It does. It lined up. I wish we could get a camera angle. Come on, Brandon. On that 410.
Yeah, we'll get somewhat of one, that's for sure. Now, he may have to kick at this, depending on what the line on it is, because it's funny, we talked about a throw shot in the opening shot of this match after the break in game number 1.
This throws naturally. If he was on the right side, he could hit the rail first.
He's got to hit a hair underneath this.
Exactly.
Yeah, or maybe cut it naturally, you know what I mean, like cut it real thin. But Jesus definitely recognizing how the ball's going to throw. So the good thing about this is if he hits a mild speed and he hits it somewhat accurate, could be kind of safe as well. Cue ball coming up the table. Oh, he hit the top of it.
The top of it. Yeah, he had to hit the bottom of it.
Yeah, he's not going to like this. Other than, wow, what a roll. Wowzer. He's going to have to soft kick, and I don't even know. It looks like the 9 may be in the way of the soft kick. Does he have a play on the 4-8 into the 5 some kind of way? No, it looks like it's aimed a little high.
Maybe.
Well, with the 6 there, I thought maybe he had a chance to. This looks like to me it's going to go long, unless he hits center ball. But if he's rolling it, I think he gets into the 8 here, not the 4.
He missed it altogether.
Yeah, that's just maybe not recognizing how the TV table is going to spread on you on these kick shots.
Well, Jesus is looking at this now, so if he can make that 5 ball with that 8, he will.
Yeah, he's going to go short side here, and that's definitely the right shot. Doesn't have to move the cue ball much, obviously, with the 5 hanging. So we have 2 Americans left, is that right? Going into the 16, Chris Reinhold and SVB.
Shane Van Boning.
Now, do you try to draw this out? I try to bump the 6 here rail first, I think, George. If you try to draw this out, you could sliver the 6 a little bit and not end up with a shot. So
I would go across it.
I try to bump this.
Real soft, yeah.
Just like that.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah. I think that was hard to mess up, as long as it didn't go off in your hand, and you crush it.
Yeah, I was thinking that I would have gone across the top of the 6 and shot it in the same pocket, but this was much more successful and higher percentage.
Well, both these guys gained some nice momentum in their first match this morning, and looks like Jesus has got it still rolling.
Well, they both beat the winners from the Arizona Open in the same format that is here, so that's big.
Yeah, no, everyone left here is, of course, trying to win this great event, but really trying to get tuned up for what's coming up in a couple days. The Predator World 10 Ball.
64 of the finest players in the world.
And what I really like is, unless things are changed that I didn't know about, these tables are going to be nice and broke in.
Yes, they're
you know, to an extent, anyways.
No, exactly.
Which I think most of the players like, as long as it's not crazy, right? You know, they like it a little broke in.
Sure, they don't like those 8-month-old cloths.
No, and again, on the other side of it, brand new. Sometimes can show us some sloppy pull, I guess you might say. Not sloppy, that's the wrong way to say it, but you know, not quite as
your angles
high level.
Go longer.
You know?
Sure, your angles go longer. They're harder to measure. The cloth slides. Right there, he gets 3. That's his 3rd game.
And I think also with, you know, the pocket plays easier, so I think the guy's mind gets a little bit, at times can get a little bit not quite so focused. I think when the tables are a little broke in, they play even higher and better pool, you know, just a higher level.
That's a great point, and I think everybody at home can think of the same thing, where you're playing pool on tighter tables, you focus more on getting great shape instead of that long shape.
Yeah, and you got to let the stroke out a little more. You know, you can't rely on the pocket helping you as much. So it's kind of like, you know, and we've all done this and play to your competition sometimes, you know. You play somebody that maybe you're a big favorite over. Sometimes you lose focus, you don't play quite as well.
Usually when you're favored, sometimes you have a little bit of a letdown. Well, for some players.
No letdown here from Jesus. 3-0 in the first set.
It hasn't come into play, but we are on a 30-second shot clock with a 20-second extension per player per game.
And I'm wondering what this break's going to look like, because he's going to break in set number 2, so could be pretty bad for Oy here.
There goes the 6-ball, tracking right at that pocket, just barely missed, but the cue ball didn't.
Yeah, it didn't have the pop on the cue ball there like he had. You could hear the rack. It didn't sound near as clean. And you can tell with some clusters on the side rails. So nothing easy for Oy again. Wow. 5's really bad. Doesn't even, well, maybe Banks. $5-10 is a playable combination. Not easy though. Does a 3 play off the 8 in the side, George? That would maybe help things getting on the 4.
It looks like it. It appears to. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's got to hit it thick. He's got to hit it real
and
thick,
maybe
and it
firm.
could carry forward a little. Yeah.
And he's got to hit it firm, right? Now he can just get this angle on the 2 to draw the cue ball 1 rail to the center. He's just got to have really good control. It'd be nice if the 3 just went in the side, period.
Yeah.
That would give him options anyway.
Well, let's see what he does. He's playing. He just pointed. He indicated with his cue he wants to come up to the left of the 8 to play the 3 in the bottom corner.
He gets, this. And that was a quick stroke.
And that's, you know, the position he chose, his line was coming across where he wanted his landing area.
Yeah, and he didn't really dig on the cue ball, you know.
Yeah,
when you kind of quick stroke the ball, you don't allow it time to draw as well. So he kind of just stunned across rather than kind of drawing the ball.
Harder to control.
Yeah.
Pinpoint shape.
Don't recall Oy playing on this table yet.
I was looking through
maybe the table's gotten him
some
a couple
of the games.
times.
I didn't see him. But he's got this jump shot.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to bang it around the table or if he's going to try and make it. And the only reason I say that is making it doesn't really offer any position on the 4. So yeah, that's what I like. I like him 2-railing this up table, trying to drop the cue ball behind the 5-8, maybe gets behind the 7 with the cue ball like that. Oh, he's going to give up a little gap.
Yeah.
Not bad, though.
Now, if he played on it, it would have been a 9 a.m. or a 10:30 a.m. match or a late match because he didn't play on the stream. Race to 4, remember that. Good look at that personable young man from Japan. Did an interview a while back, and I think he sang his way through it. Is that what he got famous for?
Well, there's been a lot of great interviews
with him.
Wow, what a great safety this was here. He's looking at the jump again, and man, this one here to me, does he have to? He just has to go over the 9, but this sure looks like maybe the cue ball might fly off the table.
If he goes over just the 9, he's got the rail and the 3 that he has to hit, which would help that cue ball off the table.
Yeah. This one here is the one you're worried about that.
Nice job.
Yeah, good hit.
Nice job.
He's going to get rewarded as well.
Well, it was very controlled and very accurate jump.
Yeah, scary as well.
Yeah. So he's got another jump shot. He leaves his opponent another jump shot. And this young man was very impressive in Arizona, playing with the brand new jump cue. He was double jumping balls. He was just jumping very accurately.
I wonder what he's going to play here. You would think he would try to bring the cue ball back behind the 7. He's calling that corner up there maybe just to call it. We talk about that. No reason not to call it, but he's going to try and hold him behind the 5.
So I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, no, and that'll show you his control.
Really good control. Yeah. Very good control.
He won't overhit it. He did try to bring the cue ball back.
Behind 7.
And this will show you something about Oy because he hadn't had much. And he's now faced with a tough shot down 3-0. So be a big one for him to bury. Even if he doesn't win this set, he needs some time at the table here to go on into that second set, George.
Yeah, he sure does. That'd be
He hasn't had much.
If you could rattle off a couple of games before he going into that second set, you know.
Well, just to get a feel, and nothing easy again, man. He's getting...
Or come back and tie it up. It's 3 games. That'd be a heck of a match.
Can't get too close to the 5 ball here. Just something between the 9 and 10. It's got to go. Thought he would get a little more out of it than that, maybe, but.
Well, he overran one shot before, so he didn't want to overrun that one and get behind the 9.
Well, and that goes along with getting that time at the table, that mentality. Hey, let me make sure I get that shot on the 5.
This is going to work out just right. Nice angle on the 6 to get away from the rail for the 7.
And Oy keeps it simple like most of the great players until needed. So.
Coming up for this 8, I'm just interested to see if he'll just, I think he will, just play that 9 ball on the side, position for it. He's got the right angle to get it.
Now, do you pull this 2 rails? You just kill it 1 rail with a little inside English, probably?
If you pull it 2 rails, you're risking going in the corner because you go deep. You know, he did it. He did it very, very well. I'd like to try to get straight in on that 9 so I don't have to run my cue ball. And that's, I think I would just use the 1 rail on top and come towards the 9. But I'm not a professional player.
Yeah, those scratches aren't too much of a worry with these guys, but getting a little out of line can definitely be a little bit of a worry. And he made it a little bit more of a missable ball. I mean, he's supposed to make that at a super high rate, but it was a little missable, especially when pressure's on.
Well, that he knows he could have had better position.
Yeah.
Does that play in your mind sometimes? Do you find that plays in players' minds when they miss position and now they're faced with a little bit of a more difficult shot to get position?
You know, when it played in my mind is when, oh, that's what I was going to say. He's got to avoid the scratch.
Ouch.
Is when I made a bad stroke that led me to poor position. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like if I get a little out of line and I hit the ball how I wanted, somewhat, you know, that's fine. That's just how pool is. You're not going to play perfect.
So when you're to break in the 5th game, trailing 1-3 in the race to 4. Unfortunate scratch on a good jump shot by Jesus. Gave him the last game of the set there. And now can he stay in the set?
Well, he had a good break off in the first break. He made balls, almost made the 10. Now, as soon as I open my mouth,
nothing goes. The 2-ball threatened, but that was it.
And he's going to cut at this one with the 2 hanging. He may, you know, I wouldn't go crazy with the cue ball, trying to put a bunch of English and all that. Just come straight down and go at the 10 and 3. And I mean, if you get snookered, you get snookered, but don't make the shot harder, I don't think, huh, George?
Well, if you get snookered and the ball's laying in the corner pocket, you could always find a rail to get there.
Or some air with that jump cue.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is like the first rack, I was like, don't, you know, I was saying commenting, don't overthink it. It gets that way, you know.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be like on a perfect route with the cue ball here.
Right.
You know, the focus here is pocketing in this one ball.
You just made me think of the shot. The next shot can be by air or by rail.
Right.
By air or rail.
Now this shot here could be a little tricky.
That's 7.
Yeah, he's going to have to use that beautiful draw stroke. I might just pinch it back and play the 3 in the side. Because if he gets in where he's going into the 10 with the cue ball, when he shoots the 3, he could have problems getting on the 4.
And I hit the left side of that and it comes straight up the rail. Well, it's going to be too close to the rail. How you want to get out further away from the rail?
Yeah. Perfect world, you'd like to say, oh, he overdrew his ball. He's okay though. He's got an angle. He can move it. He's just got to move it well. 310, 310.
Does it go by the 6?
He's looking at it. Does.
He's looking at it.
I think it does.
Well, you know the thing about the 310 is that the 3 ball is going to travel up table, and you have the 8 and 4 in the middle of the table to protect it.
Yeah. I
Because
think
your cue
he
balls
can
are going to
hold
stay
the
down.
cue ball
Yeah,
somewhat.
exactly.
So
exactly.
now again, pretty high level we have here. So shaving the 3 and going 1 rail and putting them behind the 9 isn't the worst thing in the world either. You know, going by the 8. You know.
Either he's playing the 310, which he hasn't indicated because he has to call it, and looks the way he's aiming, he is playing it, or he's playing an all-out safety behind the 6.
Yeah, it definitely goes. That's a good angle there, and it will slide in a little bit depending on the speed.
Nope.
He was trying to move the cue ball up table.
Yep.
To me, it didn't look like that agreed with the shot, but again, these guys are at the table, so they know best.
It was one or the other, commit or not.
Yeah, kind of. And that's why I was saying, you know, we're playing a race to 4 here. You know, playing just the all-out safety, guaranteeing the snooker, which I think was a very good option there, and very doable option. Nothing wrong with that if he wanted to pass on that 10 ball right there.
It's hard to pass on a combo 10 ball, though.
It is.
But
I mean,
especially for the set.
You got to recognize, though, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
one thing if it's a hanger, but that was no hanger.
No. Tough shot.
Boy, this would do a lot for Hoy's confidence right here, burying this 3 ball.
Can he avoid the 6-10?
I think he goes into the 6, which isn't great, but it's something. Oh, he's playing safe.
All the way.
And that's what almost the mentality I was talking about, George. Here's a man that's down 3-1, nothing's gone his way. But he recognized right there he needed to play the safety.
He needs to maintain control.
Right. Well, it's giving himself a chance to possibly get back in this first set. He can swerve this. Or maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe he can edge this. 3 may go near the 10, so that's a little scary.
I like the swerve and the kick.
I don't think he has to. I think he's going to edge and go up by the 5 with the cue ball like that.
And 8 ball better come into play.
Yeah, still good effort though. I mean, you can't determine what the 3's going to do near that 10. It could have gotten behind the 10. I think that was a good shot.
This opponent's taking a lot of time. Anytime you can make your opponent take time on a shot.
He's good at that shot there, that almost like center draw shot right there, and holding it from some distance. Seen him shoot that quite a few times.
He's an impressive player. Does a lot of things right, as most pro players do. And sometimes he's okay.
Okay. And I think it's the table a little bit, you know, it's a little different than the outer tables for sure. Seems to me the bed's a little faster and the rails are a little quieter than the outer tables.
Combo or the kiss shot?
From where the cue ball's at now, probably the kiss shot.
I think so. I definitely think so. From that angle.
And it's surprising to me that we don't see,
nice angle.
See more
nice.
of. Oh, he let up on
nice
it. He
kind
of babied it. To be honest with you, you got to go ahead and come across that and shoot it a little bit. You're not going to fire it, but I mean, you don't want to just totally. You know,
I thought he dead hung the 10, but it came up just a little bit, so he can't bank the 6 into it.
It's just tough. Dude.
Our shot clock just went berserk.
Can we cut this in? I think it is possible. Because the bank could double kiss and sit right up.
Sit right up, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right there.
He's calling the 6 in that corner for the bank. It's a pretty clean bank. Is he going to be a little elevated?
Oh yeah, for sure. And this is another one you don't want to baby that much. Oh, he hit it perfect. He didn't even touch the 10. How do you do that? From that
hit it perfect.
Yeah,
you hit
now,
it perfect.
I mean, this not hitting the 10 here may have made this a little bit more funny.
I wonder if he was expecting to hit the 10 and
well,
to clear it out.
Yeah, I think about 6.5 billion out of the 7 on our planet expecting him to move the 10 right there.
Now he's playing the 10.
Yeah, but it's up off the pocket a little bit now.
It's going to take a clean hit.
Yeah, I don't know if the double kiss is really a possibility. That's a shot a lot of times you kind of rely on. That 7 ball, if it doesn't make it cleanly, that the 7 keeps moving and double kisses the 10 in. Is he playing a kiss shot now? That's how funny that 10 was.
Yeah. And to me, there's nothing more aggravating than missing a ball like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think the kiss shot was probably correct. I guess he couldn't squeeze the 7 by the 10 because that was definitely a shootable shot if he could.
Yeah.
Watch out. Wrong side Sally could hurt here. And
it is. Wrong side.
Oh, maybe not. He's not wasting much time. He must know he has to go 3 rails.
Even on the slick table, the 3 rails is tough to get up there.
Yeah, he got a lot out of the cue ball the last few feet. I didn't know if it was going to get there, George.
I didn't think it was either. I didn't think it'd go past the middle.
And they kind of hopped on him on contact of the 8 ball. Kind of slowed down that initial movement.
That's a big win. He's closed it in.
Looking at 3-2 now.
And he's breaking.
I'll tell you.
Winner breaks.
Shane, I think, won the first.
Here we go. Trailing 2-3. Naoyuki Oi to break the balls. Trying to steal this first set away from Jesus Atencio. It is a race to 4. And you definitely want to win the first set, because the worst you can do is a shootout, but the best you can do is win the next one and win the match.
Made the 6 on the side. 1's coming near the cue ball. Watch out, 10. What's it doing?
Almost getting in front for a spot for an easy combo.
Well, the 1-4 combo sits nice, considering the combination after the break. You got to shoot. This isn't laying bad. And he's made 3 on the break, so he's got to like that if he can get out here close it to 3-3 here in the first set, be breaking in the case game. He's hitting a high ball here, so I'm not sure how this lays. He's going, oh, man. I'm not, it looked like to me he put inside on that, trying to go by the one ball also, and I just don't know if that was all necessary for that combo. Initially, I thought he may just hold his ball and play short side on the one after making the combo, and now Jesus is going to have to try and kick and move the one up table and stick the cue ball. It's not playing bad, that's for sure. I wouldn't get so concerned on the one ball here, George. I mean, if you get concerned on getting the one by the 8, you're definitely not going to stick the cue ball that well.
You want to stick the cue ball more than anything.
Yeah, the cue ball is much more important than the one.
Jeremy, would you consider kicking the ball from the bottom rail on the screen and kicking it past the 4 and laying the cue ball up against the 4? Yes, sir. Or is this, you feel
to
this
the side
is easy?
rail, you mean?
To the, yeah.
No.
Kick to the side rail.
You got to try and get distance here and the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was him trying to cut it more. And now we're going to look at hill with this 110 combo. He didn't dig on the cue ball much there at all. I'm not sure what his play was. Well, we don't see many of them, but there's a 110 that gets a 3-3.
Well, Jesus wins 3 in a row, and now Oy has won 3 in a row. And they've been easy wins. And I mean, by easy win, I mean one shot or 2 shots. 1 or 2 ball runs.
Yeah, this is the 4th and final day of the Vegas Diamond.
Diamond Las Vegas Open. 128 players started. We're down to, so we've lost a few guys. We lost 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Out of the 16 matches that started this morning, there's only one going on.
What George is talking about is the first round of the final 32. We still have 1 remaining match from that round. Is that what you mean, George?
Tyler Steyer and Win Lu. And I think it might be over. It just hasn't been updated to the bracket.
Watch out, 2 ball. It's going to get him a little bit covered up, it looks like. Now here, where he may roll out to underneath the 1 where that corner pocket is, the 1-6 isn't playable. You know, you don't want to leave the bottom of the cue ball. So that upper right corner right there is a very decent area to roll out to sometimes, you know, leaving the guy where he really can't draw the cue ball. He has to really hit top English coming across the 1 somewhere to try and get the cue ball safe. He's going to play the jump, and this is, he may call it cross side, but I kind of feel like he's trying to play safe here on this jump shot.
Well, you definitely want to call it cross side.
Yeah, no reason not to.
Yeah, there he is. Just indicated.
I'm wondering, though, if he really cuts on the bottom of the 1, trying to bring the cue ball back behind the 2, 5, 7, 8, something like that. Oh, he made the play. What a shot. What a shot.
Highlight reel.
Pretty good one. And now after I had 3-0 in the first set, Jesus a little on the cooker. Just got to sit here and wait and watch.
Yeah. It's out of his control right now, and you never want to have Mets there.
And the 7 goes in the side, so that really opens things up as far as making this rack pretty easy at this level. Only thing is here, don't get straight in and don't get too thin on the 5. Somewhere in the middle of the table should work.
Yeah, if Boy can maintain control here and take this game, he really has momentum going into the second set, because Jesus was ahead 3-0. And that means he rattles off 4 games in a row.
And Jesus will have to shake that off, of course.
Sure. Some of the big wins. Jason Shaw over Dennis Serpolo. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz from Spain over Marco Tucher from Holland. Aloysius Yap over Alex Kazakis.
Oh, Yap went in and defeated Kazakis.
Roland Garcia over Corey Duell. These are matches from this morning in the final 32. Joshua Filler over Carlos Ariel Castro from Argentina. From Argentina. And Dennis Grab in a shootout over Torsten Holman. Junling Chang over Albin Ocean. And of course, Fedor Gorst lost to Naoyuki Oi, who's at the table right now. Carlo Beato lost to his opponent, Jesus Atencio. And this is big for Oi. A lot of momentum.
And he's breaking great as well, so you know he's going to lose the break though to open the second set, but he's got to like the way things are going after trailing 3-0.
The reason he loses the break is he won the lag, so broke first.
That's right. Right now. 7-2.
Jesus Atencio to break for the opening break of the second set after leading 3-0 in the first set and losing it 4-3 to Naoyuki Oi.
Yeah, he's going to have to regroup because I wouldn't say he had opportunity every game, but he had a couple opportunities to close that first set out.
Down and position on the one with the 2 doing, staying out of the way and staying there for position.
Yeah, nothing too bad here. No. The 6 is a little tight, but definitely has room to play position on. And the 3's near the 5, not too far away. Of course, the 1 and 2 are grouped together. So anytime you have limited cue ball movement, that always helps things.
Makes things go a little smoother, a little easier.
Yeah, we'll see how he wants to play this though, because the 3 to the 5 is the important shot to get on the 6. So that's really what's going to tell the tale here. It looks like to me he wants to come around the 10. Can't be short here. I mean, he's extremely long on it. Like say he gets on top of the 5, kind of like the angle the cue ball's on now for the 5. That could be tricky as well. So speed control here is important.
Handled it very well.
Yeah, he's getting on top of it though. So
now he's got to come over.
Exactly. Now he's got to work the cue ball either behind the 6, maybe draw with inside. It looks a little thin to draw 1 rail over.
Would you look to go the 3 rails around it?
I
around
mean,
the 9?
If the 9 wasn't there, 100% I would. But, oh, he can draw this 1 rail. That's what you can't let up, though. Yeah, and he barely got there, and I don't know if he did, actually. This is really close.
Yeah, the 8 ball. It's big there.
But that's why that shot from the 3 to the 5 was so important, George. I mean, you can't just overlook that and say, I can get anywhere.
If he gets on the other side of that ball, he can just come towards that side pocket.
Yeah, with no problems.
With no problems. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, so getting above it there may have really, you know, been more like, all right, let me move the cue ball to the backside of 6. I think he's pretty fortunate to have a pocketable ball here. I think a 1/4 inch more of the 8 gets him. Ooh, okay.
Slides in.
Yeah, and that big stroke really opens the pocket up as well in that kind of situation. So.
Well, see, now if he would have had this game in the last set, it would have been for the win. But now this is just for the opening of the first race, the second race to 4.
Well, he hasn't let that first set that slipped away affect him so far here in game number 1 of set 2. But
you know, a couple
hard
times,
to forget about, though.
A couple times I've seen him look back at that shot clock, see where he's at.
Yeah, you'll notice that with the guys, that's for sure.
At 30 seconds, if things are flowing, he plays fast enough that he would never even think about the shot clock. He's just being very aware of it, which is good.
Yeah, and I think these guys got to realize, you know, your first look at what you want to do, your gut instinct look, usually is pretty correct. And even in this format, you have to go with it even more. Bustamante and SVB in a shootout, it looks like.
Johan Bustamante from the Phoenix area. Works for his brother down there. Jesus to break the second game of the second set. And all the second round matches of the final 32 are going on right now. The other ones have closed out, and these have all started up.
I'm not sure if it's our first guy into the final 8, George, but SVB just defeated Jovan Bustamante in a shootout.
And he will face the winner of this match.
Well, there you go. George Teachea with all the info.
Well, when the bracket's staring me in the face, I just have to read it.
All right. Super tough cut on the 1 in the side. He could maybe play it off the 5 if he wanted to get a little frisky with it, but I think it's a doable shot. 2's over the pocket. I like cutting the 1 off the 5 and going back and forth with the cue ball, George. It looks like it lays really nice. You can hit the 5 a few different ways and make the 1.
I think back and forth, as you mentioned, is much better. I was thinking you could just kind of
roll it.
No, not roll it, but go 3 rails around and come between the 8-7. But
no, just back
and forth is much better.
Yeah, the 5's going to get moved, so just straight high ball back and forth off these side rails. I think get you there pretty easy. Yeah,
much simpler, and the 5's going to be gone.
Now the 5 might move the 2 or get in front of the 2, but you just got to gamble there.
Oh, hit the wrong side of the ball. He's walking a little different than he was when he had that 3-game lead.
Yeah, that's surprising. That was a pretty big area to hit. You know, you didn't have to hit the 1 perfectly. The overcut was kind of like, didn't expect that at all. But what do you do here? This is a little touchy. You got to shave this and not make the 2, though. This is what I would have worried about, not making the 2. Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah.
That's why I said it was a little touchy.
Well, he's got an open kick at it, though, for the side pocket. It's a nice line to play.
Yeah, and he's got all kinds of ways to get safe if he hits the bottom of the 1 as well. So this should be more of a rolling shot.
Now, considering what you just mentioned, you know, good opportunity for a safety, a good opportunity for a good hit, would you really pass this?
If you're Jesus,
you're Jesus,
well, you got to. I mean, just because there is the factor of the guy whiffing the whole ball, right? I mean, you still got to pass it. Now, there are some kick shots
that you don't pass.
Pass. But this one here, this is that bottom of the 1 I was talking about.
It's gonna get away.
And that's what I mean. That's why you have to pass it. As good as Oy hit it, he still needed a little fortune to stay behind these balls, and he didn't get it. Nothing easy here, though. He's going to have to track maybe 2 rails at the 10 here with the cue ball. This is tough. So even though the guys are making balls on the break, no easy layouts. I would go 2 rails at the 10. I'd sure hate to get snookered here or lose the cue ball in the side pocket, maybe scratch off the 8, something like that. Get behind the 6 with the cue ball. Even if he came 2 rails and bumped the 7 and didn't end up with an offensive shot, that's not the worst thing in the world. If he tries to go 1 rail behind the 8, I guess maybe floating it.
Well, that side pocket's big.
Yeah.
There's a lot that can go wrong.
He's floating it. He's floating it. He's going to get a shot on the 3 also.
Then there's a lot that can go right. He had another 2 feet to play with.
Yeah, he just caught the 1 a little thick to the pocket. And almost like it kicked a little bit, you know, at a slow speed, you know, coming across the ball, it can grab it a little bit more and change the direction of the cue ball.
And we were talking earlier about the cue sponsor for Oy, and it is Mez Cues. It's one of the retailers.
Great shot. Well, it kind of made sense, a Japanese brand cue.
Mezotawa.
Yeah. Top Japanese player, Oy. I was going to say it earlier. A little surprising that we haven't seen a few more come from Japan as far as the top players. Years ago when I played, Kawabata was a great player. Takahashi was a great player. Okamura was a great player. It's Japan, you know, like about 140 million people there, I believe, something like that.
little tough to come across the pond, as the English like to say. But they come across the other ocean, don't they?
Yeah, even bigger.
Yeah, even bigger.
Bigger
even
pond.
Tougher, bigger pond.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, you know, 140 million people, wealthy country as well, so they have the means. And the pool's huge there.
They sponsor their players, don't they?
I'm not so sure how the government's involved so much there, even though I've been there many, many times years ago. But I think the nicest country in the world that I've ever been to. Clean, no crime hardly. It's awesome. Anyways, now Jesus doing similar to what he did in set number 1. He just couldn't get the opportunity to close it out. Made a great shot on the 3 there with low inside, though, wrapping around.
Well, he's taken the first 2 games of this set as well as the last set. And I can be pretty sure that he won't let that slip away, because he has to send this to a shootout. John Lehman, our head referee and tournament director, racking the balls for both players on the new Predator triangle rack, on the newer Predator Arcadia Reserve cloth, and they're using the Predator Arcos II balls. And if you look on the balls and see the reflection of the lights, those are the Predator arena lights. There's a team, one of many teams that have come to the CueSports International Expo, either from the BCA World Championships or the USA National Championships. All part of the expo.
That's that flat one he didn't get a pop on like he did
earlier in the first set. Yeah.
Now he's made a ball though. Looks like he's fairly straight on the 1. The problem is the 4 allowing him to play safe on the 2 to where he can knock the 2 ball round table maybe.
It looks like it is if he just stops the cue ball where the 1 is. It looks like
cut the 2 then a little bit, but the 5 is helping him as well, right? So
yeah, because he comes into the 7, holds there, and he should be able to maneuver the 2 ball around 3 rails and have the 5-7 as cover and close cover.
Yeah. Now, if he's got to cut the 2 a lot and go into the 7 a little more pace with the cue ball, the 7 could open the 5 up and maybe give up a shot. So if he has to cut this 2 a long ways to play that safety, it's a little touchy, George. I think he's looking to maybe cut this 2 ball.
And bring the cue ball around the 4?
No. Cut it in.
Oh, cut it into the hole.
Yeah, I think that's what he was sizing up anyways.
I didn't think he had. It doesn't look possible. I think he had room for it.
I like this.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, I know it didn't work out, but I like him being aggressive. You can't get upset about that, though. That's just part of it.
Well,
when he shot the shot, he knew there was risk.
I guess at that age, actually at that age, you think you can. They all look easy, and they'll humble you sometimes.
Yeah, if he can stick him here behind the 4, I would go ahead and put some pace.
Oh, nice shot.
I was going to say I might put some pace on that 2 ball.
Nice shot, great recovery.
Yeah, if he froze him here, this is maybe just a 2 rail kick he's got. So. Looks to me he did, and the reason why Oi could come to this right side rail with a lot of spin, but when you have to create that angle, you can't get much speed on the cue ball, so there isn't much for separation on the 2 and the cue ball, right? So he's going to kick 2 rails here. All right, 1 kick shot got away from him sliding. That one almost did. It was a kick behind the 9 in the first set when he was trying to drop on that 2 when it was connected to the 8. He missed it.
He didn't leave anything easy.
No, but he's attacking, that's for sure. I think he can stun. May even be able to hold it, but I think he can stun between the 5-7 maybe, or between the 9-7 to the rail and over.
I think so.
Even if he went into the 9, that's not the worst.
He might go into the 7 though. If he does that, he could get hooked behind it.
Yeah. He just had to gamble a little bit. The sweet thing for us is we're going to get to see that long stroke of Jesus right here one way or another. He's definitely going to shoot. I would just try to get to the left side of the 10 where he's pointing now. So maybe we won't get to see that cue ball movement like
he has hoping. Just a little bit of an angle, right, where he can follow this ball and come between the 10-9.
No, I think that's going towards the 8. He's got to draw the cue ball over like that. That's a smart shot. Still a lot of work. Got to gain a decent shot on the 5, which isn't hard. But the angle, or maybe not much angle actually, to hold for the 7 to get to the 8.
When you slow roll these, they usually get undercut.
Oh, it kicked. He's going to get behind the 9. Yeah, but he put a lot into that, though, I thought, anyways. But wow. I was just thinking he's going to get to 3-0 again. I didn't know you could curse him without saying it, but put the jinx on him without even opening my mouth.
So you put a commentator's jinx on him just by thinking it?
Yeah, telepathy. It's a real thing.
I'll let him know after the match.
That wasn't intentional.
What a shot! And that's how that jump cue really helps him. He knows how to use it.
All right, you take on the bank here. You could play a safety as well. I don't think the cut shot's really an option.
This is a good bank.
He's got to watch his cueing. Playing all ball fouls here.
This is actually a good bank.
He hit it way long.
He hit it way soft.
Yeah. Got it right on the 50 though.
Yeah.
Can't go forward with the cue ball here. I think that's a scratch. So I'm not sure Oy can be offensive here. He may have to overcut the 7 to the left side rail and run the cue ball a couple rails. I don't. Man, it looks like to me.
Does he have access to the left side? Yeah, he's going in with inside English. He's going to bring the cue ball around to the left 3 rails, shot. I think.
Not
yeah,
sure
it is.
Percentage-wise, I hit it great though.
Yeah, just like that.
Wow,
he's overshot it. Came with a great shot there.
Yeah, he can ease this in. He can come 3 rails for the 9 in the same corner as the 8. That's pretty natural to come behind the 9. It's kind of the way I like to shoot it versus easing this ball in. Very natural, just maybe a half a tip or so of right English. Key to here is stay off the rail with the cue ball off that 3rd rail.
He'll come just short of the side pocket. Yeah. He went all the way around 4 rails.
Well, he didn't mean that. He was trying to go 3 rails for that same corner.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just got a little more out of it. He's feeling good though. I guess he should.
I would be too. You know, winning my first set, trailing 3-0, and winning 4 games in a row to win the set, and now down 2.
Yeah,
I've got the feeling that I can come back.
Well, that's for sure. These guys know that. But just, I think overcoming a few tough layouts also really helps. So.
Naoyuki Oi from Japan to break the balls in the 4th game of the 2nd set, trailing 1-2. Breaking from the middle.
Yeah, and both the guys have been pretty successful making balls in the break. I think we've only had one dry break by Jesus in game number 2 of the 1st set, if I remember correctly.
Great look at his break stance from the Japanese cueist.
3-ball 4 railing.
Oh, I'm banking at this. I'm going all out here.
I think he probably puts him behind the 10. I think he puts the 1 in the middle of the back rail-ish, somewhere like that. And I think he's going to pretty natural to drop him behind the 10 here. Now, all these guys are very offensive. That's for sure, that they're looking to keep their opponent.
Well, their opponents jump so good, they kick so good. And nice call there, Jeremy.
Yeah, I thought he would go 3 rails behind it, but he really wanted to use the 8-4. The 8-4 was more of a guarantee.
There's just some.
Give him a piece of this?
I don't know, but there are just some bank shots I can't pass up. That's why I thought he'd just go for that.
I think if the cue ball path, he had to run the cue ball around the table to get on the 2, or draw up the side rail from a thin bank. So I think you know, you could have gone either way there.
No, I like
Billy Thorpe might have banked it in.
Oh yeah.
But you know,
yeah, the higher percentage is that shot right there.
And he's had a mistake. Oh, he's going to scratch maybe. No, this is going to work out perfectly.
Oh, look at this.
And that's exactly why the guys want to really be offensive at all times, but they just have to play percentages. He's got a 2-rail kick here. I'm sure that's the way he'll go. Calling the 1 by the 10. Good thing about this is if he hits either side of the 1, he could get safe. He could come off the top side, get behind the 8 with the cue ball. If he comes off the, what would be the bottom side of the 1, if you're looking at your screen now, he could drop the cue ball behind the 9. So this should be about medium speed, not super hard.
Nice hit.
Yeah. He's gonna get him
cut off. It's gonna. Well, can he play this off the 6?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No hanger.
That's a tough shot.
And the funny thing is, we had one earlier that I thought was pretty easy
and
on the 1 off the 5.
Failed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he didn't get it. I remember that shot very well.
And the thing about this is you need a little ricochet effect. So he's got to cut it. I'm not so sure he can hold the cue ball that great for the 2, because if he rolls this, the chances of making it go way down. He needs a little bounce effect off the 6 to make the 1.
This is a tough hit. That corner of the pocket there plays big.
Yeah, if we were playing where luck counted, you definitely shoot it. You got all kinds of ways to make the 6 up in the corner also. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get it. The light speed, you know how accurate you had to hit it with the light speed?
That's,
He's got to go for the kick here, huh? Does he? He doesn't have to.
He's going to have to spin around the 7. It's not a natural.
You can't just go straight high ball. And I'm not sure what he's called. He called the 6 ball here? Man, I don't know.
That looks what he's aiming.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play. Yeah. Now, he was trying to get the 1 over. I'm not sure it's going to work out. The 1 may be dead off the 5 with top English here, George. Just a little cut on the 1 with top English. This might slide right on in.
Would you do that, or just kind of slide it to the right of the 5
and
just
bump
the
the
cue
5
ball
up?
and bump the 5 up and put the cue ball right on top of it?
Yeah, that's probably the prudent play. He's shaving it, putting it behind the 2.
Well, the 2 helps him.
It's pretty good there, though. It's amazing, right? When I learned how to play, you put them on the back rail there to cut the rail off.
Cut the rail off.
But meanwhile, it's no good these days with the jump cue, right?
And the 2 ball actually helps when he kicks across.
Right.
So he has to go 3 rails at it.
Yeah, but now these days you have to be very conscious, or just understand that this is coming. Wow, that's surprising.
Well,
110 combo.
He got what he needed. Ball in hand.
Doubt it, but it is there.
Yeah, he'll play the 110 combo, I think. Well, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
glad to see it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, but it is a possibility. The 5's near the 6-7. I mean, you just follow this to the left side of the 4 a little bit. You got an easy shot on the 2. But we have had some combo situations here early in our final day.
I think I like this decision. I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
And as you said, as you pointed out, everything lays real nice. The toughest thing, you'd have to really mess up not to go from the 5 to the 6.
Yeah, there's not really any issues.
Yeah, there's not really any issues at all.
And then, you know, and after the first set being up 3-0, he did have a chance or two to close that out. You know, if he shoots that combo right there and misses it, goes on to lose this game, that could be really taxing mentally.
Sure.
At least here he knows it's just, you know, the things he does every day, just run balls.
I think I would have gotten a little flatter on that 5.
That's okay. It's
fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. He just wanted to get off the rail with the cue ball. That's why.
You know, I'm playing with fast rails and fast cloth. I just want to be a little flatter, but that's perfect. As I look.
Yeah, well, these guys don't worry about like the miss there or anything like that.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was worried about coming off. You know,
hot with the cue ball.
Hot with the cue ball. Yeah, exactly. Your nerves start to run a little bit, but then when I looked at the table, other than the monitor, I saw the angle was flatter.
Okay, of course he doesn't want to get really thin, but don't gamble getting close and getting behind the 9. Yeah, that's a good pace there. You can come above the 9 a good foot or so and still be very easy. So my suggestion here on the 8, of course, is making it, but don't ease it in and let it kick on you or skid on you. You can, like I said, come at least a foot above the 9 or so and still be just fine.
Looking good to take his 3rd game of the set and lead 3-1.
No lead safe here, though.
No, as we just saw.
We always talk about it when we're playing races to 9 and 11 that no lead is safe. Just kind of.
action. As soon as Jesus enters the arena to break the balls for the 5th game, leading 3-1. There's a short break between games every so often, every other game, and the players stepped out of the arena. Now we got to get them back. So, meanwhile, back at the ranch, let's go over some of the matches that are going on right now. Chris Reinhold and Viktor Zielinski, Omar Al-Shaheen and Ralph Souquet. Shane just defeated Yogan Bustamante. And you have this match right here. Junling Chang and Dennis Grab. Joshua Filler versus Aloysius Yap. Kunlin Wu versus Francisco Sanchez Reese. Jason Shaw versus Roland Garcia.
Well, just a ton of matches that could be our final here. Gotta love that.
Well, it's great when you have close to 45 of the top players in the world.
And a few more showed up for the 10 ball.
For the 10 ball.
All right. Broke the balls. He's made the 1. Bit of a tester on the 2, considering he's got to get back for a 3 ball that I'm not so sure passes the 4. If it passes the 4, that sure changes things, doesn't it, George? He can just hit this with a high ball, maybe a hair of right English to come across.
It sure does, yeah. He doesn't have to work position to get you back to where the cue ball is now.
No, I think if the 3 passes, that's a great camera view there that, hey, I don't think we're going to see any more of Oy until the shootout. I want one of these predictions to come
these
to fruition.
Early rack predictions?
Yeah. Needs a tip of English here. Needs to get a bounce off that second rail as well. He hit it thick to the hole, so he's going to have to make a really nice shot here, holding the ball for the 4, being a little elevated as well. So
yeah, you can't smooth that stroke out by just laying the cue stick down.
Now, one good thing for Jesus, like many shots that Jesus deals with, his technique, his fundamental really helps this shot. As long as he stays long, he doesn't have to do much with that stroke of his. Now, if he gets a little quick, a little short, probably loses the cue ball to the left a little, but straight low English. Shouldn't use any side spin. Yeah, see how well he held it there?
Yeah, that was very well done.
That's a product of technique right there. So. Okay, I'm not so sure I'd try to catch the second rail here unless I'm really uncomfortable holding it 1 rail. He's going to get funny. This is not, he's lucky to be able to cue the ball here. That ball falls on a rail there because he certainly didn't hit it how he wanted.
I don't understand why I went so far.
Well, you got to do one or the other. Commit to really pinching it, or commit to really catching that second rail with a little speed. That way you come close to the 5 and everything's kind of easy. Yeah. Now he's got to use that good stroke again to draw the cue ball into position.
Because these table conditions are on this table, I think, are just optimum. They're great. I haven't seen anything that would concern me, except that it is a little slippery, so you want to slow things down a little.
Yeah, but that's going away a little bit. We're getting the
little
table.
By little, yeah.
So, okay, again, looks like a good chance next time we see Oy is in our shootout.
Sure.
We'll have a little explanation of how that plays out here if we get to that point, when and if we get to that point.
I was trying to see if we had Jesus in here for a shootout in the last 2 days, but I don't see that we did. He's the first time on the stream, I think.
I definitely saw him play one.
I saw him play one,
Because we were talking about his choice of how he shoots it versus what we do with all the players, but
I remember it, but not here, so I don't have any record of it.
rounded, so he's going to get a little bit of a cut on the 10, but not much.
Nothing that should be of concern.
Only for Oy.
I wonder if he's hoping for that ball to go into the side pocket.
Nah,
he just waited his time for the shootout.
Right, that's right. Well,
Here we go to the shootout. 4 innings. They'll alternate sides, and the highest score wins. Cue ball will be placed on one in the green area on the table, on the upper part of the table, shooting to the bottom corner pocket. And we'll alternate sides.
Any foul,
first one.
Scratch negates a point.
4 innings, and the highest score wins. If, in fact, they are tied at the end of 4 innings, then they go to a sudden death shootout, then the cue ball gets moved back 1 diamond.
Yeah, that'll be inside the first diamond off the top rail. And Oy, who won the lag, got to break first in the first set, but just as important, I would say, has the choice to take on the first shot here in the shootout, which I don't know of anybody that's passed the opportunity to go first.
Right, I haven't seen it yet. And keep in mind that the winner of this match will face Shane Van Boney.
Yeah, we got another shootout starting between Ralph Souquet and Omar Al-Shaheen. We're going to have, I think, 5 matches here today on the stream. I'm wondering what the percentages on shootouts we're going to have. We're in Vegas, and we all like to make a bet from time to probably take a little price that we have more shootouts than not. Yeah.
On the final day, I think we might. Out of the 5,
Yeah, well,
will 3 go to shootouts?
CueSports tells me that, guys blow a set and they come back and win the next set a lot of times. That's just how it is. Good stroke there. And he played it differently there than the last time I saw him shoot the shootout. He played it with a touch of outside English there and much smoother. I know I saw him shoot it in Arizona to where it was more of a straight high ball, kind of like Federer was. So they're 1 for 1. Going into inning number 2. The one that was very interesting to me was Roland, I thought. I think it was Roland, where he shot it with stun from one side and top from the other side.
On the other side, yeah. Yeah, that was. Why would you shoot them differently?
Yeah, it's
from side to side.
Yeah, just perspective and feeling, I guess.
We're wrapping around.
He looks very comfortable. Like quite possibly he may have had a win earlier today against Federer in a shootout. Who knows?
I did not see the match, and we don't have access to that info.
We can possibly get it later.
We could ask him.
Yeah, that's for sure. My Japanese is a little rusty, but we'll see.
You speak Japanese?
No,
huh?
no. I was joking.
Jeremy-san.
That's right. A few words here and
yeah,
there.
san.
This is the one I just straight high ball to me. Yeah, I like that. You know, if these guys wanted to put just a hair of outside, couldn't blame them there because
that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
it's
just a hair,
exactly.
just a hair.
Yeah, just a hair.
And it's kind of a controlling kind of thing. That's why you'll see guys that they'll use a hair of outside a lot on shots when they're playing when it's not necessary, because you're just kind of in control of the contact between cue ball and object ball that way. It's just a little bit of a control thing. It's a good feeling for the players, let's say that. I still wouldn't be bridging off the rail, though. You see how the cue has that angle coming off the side. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of Oi. So Oi's knocked in. That was his third?
That was his third.
Yeah, that was his third. The score will get updated here shortly.
Jesus in the same inning. That's the epitome of smooth.
Pretty smooth.
Yep.
Well, he's a long guy. He's not super duper tall, but you can say he's a kind of long. It's going to lean towards a little bit more smoother. Now we're at the sudden death, basically, after the guys have both made three.
Yeah, pretty much. If you miss this one, you can lose it all right here.
Or we're going to go to sudden death if they both make or both miss. So the one thing is they've got to back it up a diamond, and we've seen big changes.
I haven't seen it go more than after the first one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen two on sudden death. Let's take a look.
Boy, wasting no time knocking in his fourth in a row. So it's amazing how quick the pressure changes in this. Now Jesus, all the pressure on him.
It's ended on the very first sudden death.
Yeah, on this table, anyways, right?
No, even the ones I've seen outside.
Oh.
Torsten and Grab had a shootout, and Grab made the first sudden death, and Torsten made missed his.
Taking a little more time here. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest with you. I never mind it too much, but a little more than he's made three in a row, I wouldn't change much. Oh, hit that dead center.
And here we go. We'll go to sudden death as the graphics indicate, and they'll shoot from the green area.
And you'll notice the only change in the graphic really is the location of the cue ball. One diamond further back towards that top rail, and it's amazing to me how much more difficult it becomes, or at least it seems that way.
You know what's funny about this, Jeremy, is years ago we had a few guys down in Tucson. We'd actually put the cue ball up against the rail, and we'd bet on the shot.
Oh yeah.
Just
seems to me it promotes an overcut like that. That's what it seems to me. That extra diamond. I think that extra distance makes you want to cut the ball a little bit more, and now Oi he's in the cooker, right?
All he can do is hope.
Yeah, he's just.
All he can do is hope that Jesus misses.
Yeah.
Provides him with another turn.
Yeah, Ralph Souquet and Omar Al-Shaheen in that shootout. Ralph's had a miss, so I think he's up against it as well. Now I think Jesus, who's in the driver's seat, and really can hold his own future here if he knocks this in. Now this also promotes a little more of a scratch in the side going 3 rails, I think. He hit that sweet. Stay tuned, we'll have another match shortly.